Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm George Conley with Scratch Golf Tips, and today we're going to be discussing a few different shots that we can hit off of the tee that can help us in certain situations. So I'm going to be going over 3 different shots that I like to turn to with driver. We're going to talk about how to hit each of these shot shapes and these shot types, as well as when I like to turn to each shot shape individually. Now let's start off with my Fairway Finder. This is a shot that is generally more accurate. It will not go as far. So essentially what we're doing is we're trading a little bit of distance for a little bit of accuracy. For this shot, the few keys that I have are teeing up the ball a little bit lower. Generally, my standard tee height is having half of the ball above my club face at rest and half the ball below. For this, I have about maybe 75-80% of the ball below the club face, so it is notably further down. And I also put the golf ball just a little bit further back in my stance, which is just going to promote a lower, spinnier ball flight. It's something that I can control a little bit better. This will fade a little bit more than my stock shot, but because it's low and spinny, I find it very comfortable in tight situations when there's a tight fairway. Maybe I can't miss the ball left if there's danger left. Because this ball is spinnier, I like to turn to this shot often. And again, you are going to lose a little bit of distance. Generally, I'll lose about 15 or 20 yards of distance from this shot compared to the next shot you'll see, which is just my stock shot. But it's just comfortable for me to stand over a ball and know that I have a much better chance of getting it in the fairway with the Fairway Finder. Next, we're going to be talking about my stock shot, which is just the basic drive that I turn to most times off the tee. It's slightly less accurate than the Fairway Finder, but I also get that distance. So for me, I just like to feel my trail shoulder a little bit further down, almost like I'm plunging that trail shoulder into my hip a little bit. The ball position is slightly inside of my front heel, not much. My club face is square to dress, and this is the same tee height that I always use. And as I mentioned, the tee height, the equator of the ball is at the top of my club when rested. This is not as spinny a golf shot. For me personally, this shot will go right around 260 carry, maybe total 275 if I hit it solidly. It will fade a little bit less than that Fairway Finder, but if there's some room to miss, if it's a big fairway or if it's a long golf hole, then this is certainly a stock shot that I like to turn to often. Now let's go to the fun one. This is my high draw, which is basically my power draw. It's the shot shape that I turn to when I have a lot of room to work with, or I'm just feeling very confident and I need to get the ball way down the fairway. So whenever I want to hit that draw or promote that draw ball flight, I like to close down my shoulder line, close my feet, having that front foot a little bit closer to the ball than my back foot. Ball position stays fairly standard here, but I have to be really shallow. So I have a wider takeaway, and then I really shallow out and come inside of the ball. Again, ball position's the same. I try and close the club face a little bit through address, and I put a little bit extra into the swing. Essentially, when thinking of swing speed, with this high draw golf swing, I'm trying to swing as hard as I possibly can without losing my balance, because when I lose my balance, bad things happen. So I'm trying to get out any bit of club head speed that I may have left in my golf swing, and this high draw, when hit perfectly, it does draw a decent amount, but that draw ball flight actually helps a lot with the carry distance and the total distance. For me, when I turn to this on the course, I will generally carry the ball about 280. It'll roll out to 295, 300. Again, I will note, I don't really turn to this that often. If I have a very gettable par 5 and I need to score for whatever reason, I have to be aggressive on the course, I will turn to this. But it's not a perfect shot. It is pretty inaccurate, so I don't always hit it perfectly. I don't always turn it on the course, but it's nice to have that kind of golf shot to turn to just in case you need it. Let me know what type of golf shot you like to hit off the tee. I know that there's a bunch of different ways to approach these shots, especially with driver on par 4s and par 5s, so I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. Thank you all very much for watching. Play well and take care.